Hey everyone, welcome back to channel. In this video, we are going to break down one of the most useful part of our image compression app, the core compression functionality in Python. I will explain exactly how the Python reducing an image file size step by step in the simplest way to possible. Yeah, we are going to the code. First, we are go through the code by line, then we will see the output. So first initially I will tell like overall what I did, then you can understand the flow for this. First you need to first you need to given the image, right? So while first you need to select the image, like I am using the select file method. Based on that you can able to select whatever the image in your system you need to select. Once you need to select the image, the output you need to store somewhere, right? Then you need to select the folder, like which place we need to uploading your final output images. So that's the reason we need to select the folder. First we need to select the image, then what is the destination folder, then we are compressing the image, like we are clicking on the button. Based on the button it's calling this method, and this method will be calling the compress image method. So it will be working like compressing the images, and we are storing into final outputs. Once the final output we are storing, it will be stored in your system, as well as we can able to directly view from the based on the button click, you can able to view in the web view also. So this way we can able to do this the functionality I am doing. So I can explain each by line, like this method I will doing the GUI application. So I can explain the line by line. Okay, first we are importing the OS module. So this module will helpful for file input and path, like the path operation we are handling. So that's the reason we need it for this OS module. Then ISO module, it will handling the buffering for the images. So while running the image, each time the file size will be reducing, that time we are storing temporary purpose, so in the ISO memory only, not in the actual save file. And also thread module we are importing, it is handling by the progress bar, like the compressed progress also running, and also thread like UI we are showing like the progress bar also. That's the reason I am importing like thread also. And the tinkering function we are using for GUI purpose, few elements I am importing for the gentle for the UI I am creating. And pillow, this library pillow library, so I'm putting like the image processing, like image reading and image saving, we are using for this method only. And web browser, we see the final output we will be seeing in the browser. So first we are checking like the GUI setup, then we are go to the each function. Okay, first I am creating the root element for TK object. So this object we are creating like the temporary console for this hour. So that console we have the title like the Smart Image Compressor Ultra, and I set some pixel, whatever pixel you want you can set it. I can set this, and I don't want to resizing this setup for the console. So this way I'm doing like the initial setuping. Once done, I will set the theme for this console, like the system default theme will be taken out. And after I am configuring the two style, like two button we are creating. One is the start compress, and also open compress image button. These two method button I need to create one style for this. So the configuration, like the blue dot d dot function, it's a style configuration. And I set the font and foreground color and background color, and foreground color is the text color. And padding, overall padding we are aligning from the text, and border with whatever width you needed you can adjust for this one. And once done, I need to mapping with this configuration to style. So blue dot button, like the background, like the active, like we need to two option we are doing, like the active and inactive. So that's the reason I'm using this style also. Like when it's active, then it's a blue color. When it's disabled, then it's a gray color. So active, like the background and foreground color, both we are changing dynamically. In similar way, green button also, like the image view button, that also if it is active then green color, and if it disabled then it's a gray color. So these two style we are creating. Once we are creating, we are mapping into this button. Like after we are creating button, that's the reason I am creating these two styles. Then first I creating like the header label, the smart image compression. After I need to create like the select image label, it is the first label. So then user can identify based on clicking on the browsing image button, they can select the file from our directory. Similar way, they need to select the destination directory also. This command only we are calling like the function, whatever the function we are using writing. So select function what will do means I can explain. So it will be opening from the file, like whatever the image we are needed, like this jpg and png wg, these format images will be only allowed to select. So that's the reason I am using this file type, and the title like the select file images only you need to select. If the file is available, then it will be file will be selected, and also based on the file below the button, like status label we are also creating, that label we are checking like whatever image you are selected. After selecting the image, it will be show it below here. So that's the reason I am given it here. And the selection folder also given, and similar way the selection is allow only for selection folder. So this method, so it's asking for directory method from this file, so it will be asking like the only for folder only you can able to select the folder, whatever the image you are choosing, that will be given like the output directory. So then after below we are like setting one status variable. So once image you are selected, the status variable is updating, like based on the selection file you see that message, like here I'm creating like empty test, but once this function will execute at that time only the text will be appear, like the file path is available, whatever the file path of image we are selecting, that base name like the file name will be available in the text next two buttons after. After I am selecting like the one input box, that input box sets the default variable like 300, like 300 kb, it's a default. You want, you can change whatever the kb you expected. So whatever the kb you are given in here, that will be that the image, it's beyond the, not generating the kp, only the below the whatever the value you given, that below only will generating the image. That's why we are returning, because somewhere you are using like 300 kb, but the image will be having like the 3.5, like the 305 kb, like that's a reason I'm avoiding for the such content, like in not near data, like it's a less than value only while generating for these images. And click on this compress button, creating the compress button and progress for similar way open image. This method only I am writing. So now I will check like the start compress method. So this method, first we need to get the file path, like input path and output path. These two paths we are mainly getting from the file. So if the file is not available, like you need to select the file first. Image first you need to select, and destination folder you need to select. That this error message will be showing in the UI. So if it is select, and if you don't given anything, it's taken like the default 300 kp. It's if it is anything in the invalid value, then we are getting like this input you need to give, and like user will be remove every value, and that also user click the submit button, right? So we are checking like that exception to exception will be rising. If the image they are checking like the 0 kb or like empty value, then we need to raise the exceptions for UI pop-up error message. So once get the message, we need to get the input path, and also based on that we need to given like what is the extension and name, we need to split it based on the base name. So once we have the name and exit path, just we are setting like the output path also, like the same name with compressed, like the underscore compress, and also the extension. That's the reason we are using like this method to separating the values. Once we are getting, then progress value is 0, so we are starting the progress value, and we are disabling like the compress button. So after we are running this thread method, so while clicking like this thread method, we are calling the compress image method, right? So we are given like the input path and output path, so and also maximum kp we are given like the image, and given the lambda function for by using the progress bar. So the progress bar is 100%, then the status will be completed, and will be the image will be changing like whatever the exact kp we are changing, and also maximum width and height quantity what is done. What is the output for this value, that will be given like the status label, like same status label you can updating here. And you can the enabling for this open, like the disabling for the initialing for the open button. Now the method will be done, then the image will be opening, like the button will status normal, then you can able to output path, like you can open the image and we can see the output. Like this open method, just the file path opening to a browser, any default browser, that will be automatically opening. That's doing the open output method. Now we'll see the compress image method. So this is a core method for this entire program. So we are setting like a three-way method we are using. So first we reducing the quantity, and then we are reducing the resizing the images. Even though resizing the image is not perfect, then we are stinging the image under the 20x20, like 20 pixel we are reducing until we are doing. So these three method we are doing to handle this method. So first we need an input path, output path, maximum image, whatever the image we are uploading, that will have it. And step is 5, like each step we are reducing the image size, like the 5 the quantity, and also the progress bar. So first we are opening the image by using the pillow method, and also we are checking the which format we are giving. If it is any invalid format, it's default taking like JPG. Initially we reducing the quantity like 5, like 90%. The image is the original quantity is 100%, but initially we are reducing the 5 quantity. So, and also image size we are getting like the width and height based on the images. So this is a helper method, like it's a inner function. It will be helping for each time we are calling like to we need to reduce the size. That operation will doing this function only. So how will do means we need an image and quantity, and we are using this buffer like this iso.byte. This is the temporary memory we are storing, like this temporary memory we are storing to our images. So once the images will be created, we need to save the image in the buffering. So based on the format and quantity whatever, and optimization is stored, like the image of the same quantity we are storing, and we are reducing the length. We are each time we are reducing length by the kilobyte of this image. We are returning this method for entire function we are using. So once we are like, first we need to reducing the image like 95%, like initial image is 100%. First we need to reduce the 5 percentage of the quantity for the image. So first we are calling this image method, and we are reducing this method, and total step we are rating 80, and we are using the step count also. This two variable we are initializing like initially. So once we are done, we are using the reduce the quantity, like this method we are checking like the size, whatever the size maximum we given, until the size whatever the value is given. So until this time the loop will be executed, and also quantity will be less than 5 until the quantities minimum value is 5 is the minimum. So quantity will reduce until 5 only, 100 to 5. So each time we are reducing the step, like we are step initially it's a 5. So 5 each time the step will be reduced 5. So initially 95, now it's a 90, and we are checking like the same function to buffer method, and we are saving the image again. The 5% quantity will be reducing. So similar way this method will be working until the step we are counting, and also the progress bar based on that we are operating. That's the reason we using these total steps and progress inputs, and each time loop will be running the same way. So the same way we are reducing the image, it will be get that achieving our KIP, then the function will be good to enough. So even we are not achieving for this quantity wise we are not achieving, then we need to resizing the images. So images we are 50 to cross 50 pixel, we need to reducing these images. Each time we are resizing image like that 10%. So the 10% method we are reducing for this method, like we need to get the width and height, and the image we need to resizing based on this method. We are using the image, we are reducing the each time we are reducing like the 10%. And even though that image we are not not able to resizing, and also again we need to sting the images with every loop we are ending, like 15% we are reducing this buffer size of image, then we are resizing. So everything we are done. So finally we are getting the buffer value from the inputs, like all the operation will done, the final buffer value we have it, that will be writing from the output, like the file will be created here only, like open the path, and we are writing the buffer value, that image buffer image we are writing here, and we are returning like the whatever the final size we are having, and quantity what is the final we reducing, and also width and height. These are the operation we are reducing, and we are returning in the UI. Okay, now let's see the output, then you can understand more UI purpose. So before output you can see the image. I can have 3 images, one image like 1.3 MB, and second image like 62 KB, and third image like 750 KB. These 3 images I will show in the output. So this way our GUI application, first you need to select the images. So I am selecting first the 1.3 KB image. Okay, I'm opening and choose the destination folder. I'm choosing like this image folder. So I am choosing like this is the destination folder, it automatically coming here. So I am selecting this this is 1.3 MB. I am reducing like the 500 kb, okay, and start compressing. The compress will be happen. So this text also each time will be changing, like the progress bar is moving, this also the thread only will handling this one. So once done, this button will be enabled. Until this button I cannot able to click, and this like now it's available, right? So now you can open the image in the UI, so it will be image will be open, right? And similar way you can check that file size also. So this image we compressed just now, right? 42 kb, like 450, right? Like the current timestamp. So we are reducing like the 428 kb, we are reducing these images. Now again I'm go to UI, I am choosing the different images. This image, okay, this image I can reducing the 200 kb. So it's a small image, so you can see like the 184 kb it's reducing, and quantity is 20. So now I'm opening this image, the image will be open, and also you can see the output of this image, like 189 kbs, okay. Now we'll choose the another one more image, 62 kb. I am set like the 20. I am start compressing and opening image like this. 19 kb will compress, and quantity is the 30. So open image. This image will be opening. Okay. File size also will check. This is 20 kb we are generated. So this way you can able to reduce whatever the kb you want maximized. You can use this method, and you can able to reduce the method. Okay. And that is how the compressing the image function is working. With just a few loop and some smart logic, we have built a Python function that can handle the any images and research almost any target size. If you found this explanation is helpful, give the videos thumbs up and subscribe for more Python tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.